First off, I want to thank God, because that's who I look up to. He's graced my life with opportunities. It's what we're doing in society now. We're making people persona non grata. You can erase someone's entire existence. Where the heck does some forgiveness?
Imagine a world where saying God bless you after a sneeze could end your career. Sounds crazy, right? Well, that's kind of what happened to Matthew McConaughey at a Hollywood event. The room went dead silent when he thanked God in his speech.
And when I thank God, I saw some of those people go to clap, but then noticed that, whoa.
What's up with that? Looks like McConaughey just dropped a truth bomb on Hollywood's cancel culture, and boy are they mad. He's calling out the lack of free speech and how it's messing with true inclusivity. But here's the real kicker. Some celebs are actually backing him up. What's going on behind the scenes? Stick around to find out the juicy details. So picture this. McConaughey's at one of those swanky Hollywood events, all glitz and glamour. He's up there accepting an award, looking all dapper in his tux. Then he drops the G-bomb. Yeah, that's right. He thanks God, and what happens? Crickets. Total silence. It's like he just admitted to kicking puppies or something. But here's the thing that really got under McConaughey's skin. He noticed people almost clapping, then stopping themselves, like they were scared to show any approval for a little gratitude to the big man upstairs. What's that all about? Since when did saying thanks to God become some kind of career-ending move in Tinseltown? Turns out Hollywood's got this unwritten rule. You don't talk God, you don't lean right. It's like they've got this secret handbook of acceptable opinions and anything outside that is strictly verboten. But McConaughey, he's not playing that game. He's calling it like he sees it, and he's not pulling any punches. In his own words, McConaughey's saying the illiberal left is pushing people away.
It's what we're doing in society now. We're making people persona non grata. You can erase someone's entire existence. Where the heck does some forgiveness?
He's not talking about your average Joe who leans left. Nah, he's calling out the extremists who've hijacked the conversation. The ones who preach tolerance but can't handle a different viewpoint. It's like they're building this echo chamber where only one set of ideas is allowed to bounce around. And boy, is he calling out the hypocrisy. These folks in Hollywood, they're all about diversity, right? Diversity of skin color, sure. Diversity of background, you bet. But diversity of thought, that's where they draw the line. It's like they're saying, be yourself, express yourself, as long as you agree with us, that is.
I want to stay on topic, but this is where the left misses it for me. Just as far as being a marketeer. Please.
So what exactly did McConaughey say that's got Hollywood's panties in such a twist? He's challenging the status quo, man. He's saying we need to have real conversations, not just nod along to whatever's trending on Twitter. He's pushing for true inclusivity, the kind that welcomes all viewpoints, not just the ones that fit the narrative. But here's the real kicker. McConaughey's not alone in this fight. Some other celebs are actually backing him up. It's like there's this undercurrent of dissent in Hollywood. People who are sick of walking on eggshells and afraid to speak their minds. They're starting to realize that this cancel culture thing, it's not just hurting the right, it's suffocating everyone. So what's going on behind the scenes? Is this the start of some kind of Hollywood rebellion? Are we gonna see more stars standing up and saying, enough is enough? Or is this just a blip on the radar, a moment of courage before everyone falls back in line? One thing's for sure, McConaughey stirred up a hornet's nest and Hollywood's buzzing with the fallout. Grab your popcorn, folks. This show's just getting started. So McConaughey's thrown down the gauntlet, but is anyone picking it up? Seems like there's a rebellion brewing in La La Land, and it's not about who's wearing what on the red carpet. It's about something way bigger, free speech. And get this, some of these A-listers are starting to ask, since when did having different opinions become a career killer? McConaughey's not the only one stirring the pot. Remember when Ricky Gervais roasted Hollywood at the Golden Globes? Same vibe, different accent. These guys are saying what a lot of people are thinking, but are too scared to say out loud. Hollywood's gone way too far left. It's like the pendulum swung so hard it broke off and flew into outer space. But here's the thing, it's not just about God talk anymore. It's about free speech, period.
First off, I want to thank God, because that's who I look up to. He's graced my life with opportunities.
McConaughey's pointing out the irony that's slapping us all in the face. The supposedly tolerant crowd ain't so tolerant when it comes to ideas they don't like. It's like they've got this VIP list for opinions, and if yours ain't on it, tough luck. In his own words, McConaughey's saying it's just so arrogant and in some ways hypocritical for Hollywood to cancel folks just for being believers.
Well, I mean, it's a verb.
Right.
It's about taking a day at a time, but having the big picture in mind. It's about and instead of or.
He's not pulling any punches, calling out the hypocrisy that's creating an environment where people are afraid to even clap for God. Can you imagine that? Being scared to applaud because you might lose your job. That's some dystopian nightmare stuff right there. But McConaughey's not just complaining, he's calling for real debate. He's saying we need actual confrontation to get to unity in a democracy. Not the fake kind of unity where everyone nods along to the same tune, but the real deal where different ideas duke it out in the open. He's worried about where the waterline is gonna land on freedom of speech, calling it a very interesting place that we're engaged in as a society. Translation, we're at a crossroads, folks. We're deciding right now how much BS we're willing to put up with before we say enough is enough.
About if me and politics is to give you a direct statement right there is playing a game that I'm not interested in playing. To give you a direct statement.
And here's the kicker. McConaughey's stance is giving other celebs the courage to speak up. It's like he's opened the floodgates, and now more stars are coming out swinging against cancel culture. Could this be the start of a more open and inclusive Hollywood? One where you don't have to check your beliefs at the door to get a job? But let's not get ahead of ourselves. The big question is this the start of a real pushback? Are we gonna see more celebs standing up for free speech, or is this just a flash in the pan? McConaughey stirred up a hornet's nest, that's for sure. But will it lead to real change? Or will Hollywood just hit the snooze button and go back to business as usual? One thing's for certain, the conversation started, and it's about time, because in a world where people are afraid to clap for God, something's gotta give. The free speech showdown is on, folks. Grab your popcorn and buckle up. This is gonna be one hell of a ride.
Dude, I've seen people read the room and go, whoa, that wouldn't bode well for me in the future.
So what's the deal with McConaughey? Is he kicking off a Hollywood revolution or just digging his own career grave? Who knows, but one thing's for sure, he's got people talking. Maybe it's time Tinseltown took a long, hard look in the mirror. You can't go around preaching diversity while shutting down half the country's opinions. It's like they're playing a twisted game of Simon Says, but only their version counts. Think about it for a sec. What kind of messed up culture are we living in when folks are scared to clap for God? It's like we're creating this bizarro world where saying thanks to the big guy upstairs is some kind of career suicide move. Is that really the kind of place we want to live in? Seems like McConaughey's just saying what a lot of people are thinking. Maybe it's time to hit the reset button on this whole cancel culture thing.